Happy July 4th, everyone, especially if you're in Philadelphia, where it all began. I'm Chase, and you're tuned into Philadelphia Eagles Now, your ultimate destination for Eagles football, sprinkled with a dash of American history. Because here, we love the game and we appreciate where it comes from. Today, we've got something special. ESPN recently published an article highlighting the biggest surprise. Players across all 32 NFL teams, and for Philadelphia, the player they spotlighted might just reshape our views heading into training camp and the preseason. Up next, we'll dive into one of the most quietly compelling depth chart battles on the Eagles roster. Buckle up. According to ESPN's Tim McManus, the surprise standout in Philly this offseason is wide receiver Danny Gray. What did McManus observe? Well, during organized team activities and mandatory minicamp sessions open to reporters, Gray used his blazing 4.33 speed to stretch the field and shake defenders, even hauling in passes over the middle. Yes, you heard that. Right over the middle. At 26 years old, Gray certainly made some noise. After all, he was a third-round pick of the San Francisco 49ers back in 2022. But injuries derailed his early career, resulting in just a single catch during his time with the Niners. They waived him last August, and within days, Philadelphia scooped him up and placed him on the practice squad. Now, don't forget, the Eagles already boast one of the best receiving duos in the NFL, with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, but once you move past them, roster spots tighten up fast. Gray finds himself in direct competition with names like A.J. Smith-Schuster, Avery Williams, Terrace Marshall, Johnny Wilson, and others vying for the 4th and 5th receiver spots. It's shaping up to be one of the more underrated battles in training camp, and it's one I can't wait to track. See, and our mini camp winners and losers breakdown. We absolutely talked about Gray. We flagged him as someone to watch, someone who could crack a roster spot simply by bringing something unique to the table. Why? Because he's got speed, legitimate speed. That ability to stretch the field vertically changes how defenses have to play. It opens up underneath windows for secondary targets like tight ends, running backs, and even, hey, our star receivers themselves. With that dynamic in play, the lane to the 4th receiver spot starts to look like it's up for grabs, especially if Gray continues to flash. And let's not overlook Jahan Dotson, a former first-rounder who's carved out a solid role here. He got his playoff moment last season in Week 18 when Brown and Smith were sidelined. He stepped up, and against Dallas, he looked sharp. He even hauled in that long ball from Jalen Hurts. In the playoffs against Kansas City, the first playoff touchdown of the Eagles' Super Bowl run, Dotson showed he belongs, but he'll never light up the stat sheet like Brown or Smith. So the fight for the other spots is wide open. That's where Gray's speed becomes even more intriguing. He's the only receiver on this roster capable of legitimately running a 4.33 40-yard dash, pure burner speed. That kind of burst creates a different threat. When you add that to Brown and Smith, you've got 3 receivers who can impact a defense in very different ways. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo surely notices that. Gray's ability to blow by corners deep to track seams, and yes, even to work over the middle, gives this offense a weapon they've been missing. Think back to his rookie preseason with the Niners. Gray caught a deep ball from Trey Lance, and scouts thought this could be the connection. He never built on it in San Francisco. Injuries, inconsistent opportunities, and Shanahan's notoriously tough receiver competition all play their part. But once Philly claimed him, he's shown growth, especially this spring. The question becomes, how will he perform under contact? As we've seen before, speed alone doesn't guarantee success. Take Quez Watkins, for example, a spring darling who struggled once hits came in. Will Gray follow that trajectory? Or will he finally emerge as the player the 49ers envisioned when they drafted him? Don't sleep on Terrace Marshall either, a former second-round pick with his own burst in size. He's pushing Gray and others for those final spots. Or consider Avery Williams, a versatile threat who started as a defensive back, transitioned to running back, inline tight end, wide receiver, return man, you name it. If he can contribute on offense plus special teams, he could gain an edge. His special teams value alone might tip the scales in this environment. Roster versatility is gold. All of this ties into something deeper. That wide receiver 4 and 5 positions matter more than most people realize. Those spots are often the breeders of hidden heroes, but can also be the downfall of careers. For the Eagles, the top 3, Brown, Smith, Dotson, are locked in. Beyond that, we want players who can move the chains, stretch defenses, and add value in other phases. Gray's speed gives him a real shot. But the pads are going on soon, that's where the truth shows itself. So, whether Gray becomes a game-changing spark or whether the rugged contact of camp knocks him back into obscurity will be one of the hidden storylines of the summer. And I, for one, am ready to keep tabs on every bubble receiver as this play develops. Because ultimately, even the biggest stars need supporting weapons, and if Gray or Marshall or Williams can fight through camp and the preseason, they'll be in the mix when the final roster is decided. And if we're going to talk about surprise performers around the NFC East, then we've got to take a look at what ESPN had to say about the Eagles' division rivals, because let's be honest, these matchups matter. The Eagles face every one of these teams twice a year, and those games are often the difference between home field advantage and a wild card scramble. So yeah, the performances of these players across the NFC East absolutely deserve attention, especially when we're forecasting how the Eagles stack up in what's always one of the most competitive divisions in football. Let's start in Washington, where ESPN identified defensive tackle Darren Payne as their surprise figure of the offseason. Now, if you've been following Payne's journey, this might catch you a little off guard. He had a massive contract year back in 2022, racking up 11.5 sacks and looking like a cornerstone of that Commanders defense. But since then, just 8 total sacks over the last 2 years. His pass rush production fell off a cliff between 2020 and 2022. He logged 96 pass rush wins with a win rate over 11%. Compare that to the last 2 years' 39 wins, win rate under 8%. That's a sharp decline. Despite not being in a contract year now, there's real pressure on him. Washington could save $16 million by cutting him next offseason, and those types of financial decisions loom large when production dips. New head coach Dan Quinn, a guy known for his defensive acumen, apparently saw something promising during spring sessions. According to Quinn, Payne showed up with a laser focus and looked motivated. The Commanders need that version of him back if they're going to climb out of the NFC East basement and start pushing these other teams. Switching over to Dallas, let's talk about a player Eagles fans should absolutely be paying attention to: cornerback Kyle Elam. The Cowboys acquired him in a low-key trade from the Buffalo Bills after he failed to lock down a consistent roll-up in Western New York. But here's the thing, Elam was a first-round pick. He came into the league with tons of potential, but in Buffalo, it just never clicked. He only started 12 games over 3 seasons, recording to interceptions, and he never became the shutdown presence they hoped for. But now he's with Dallas, and according to reports out of OTA letters and minicamp, Elam has been lighting it up. Multiple interceptions, more breakups, and this part is crucial: a better feel for route anticipation and recovery speed. He dropped a couple of potential picks too, which tells you he was in the right position to make plays. The Cowboys' cornerback room has some serious question marks. Trevon Diggs is coming off a major knee injury, and their third-round pick from this year, also rehabbing, hasn't proven anything yet. Elam might go from forgotten prospect to essential starter in just a few months. Now imagine the matchup if Elam does earn a significant role. Week 16, Eagles versus Cowboys. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith on one side, Kyle Elam possibly trying to keep up. That could be one of those make-or-break matchups that define the NFC East race. And it's a good reminder, just because a player hasn't made it big yet doesn't mean they're done. In the right system, with the right coaches, careers can be revived. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has left the NFL world buzzing, the Philadelphia Eagles have reportedly shocked fans and analysts alike by swiftly securing cornerback Greg Newsome in what sources are calling a lightning-fast deal. The surprise acquisition has sparked a wave of speculation about the team's strategy and what this could mean for their defensive lineup heading into the next season. Greg Newsome, known for his solid coverage skills and ability to read the game effectively, has been a promising figure in the league since his debut. While there had been some chatter about his availability, few expected the Eagles to act so quickly and decisively to bring him on board. The rapid nature of the deal suggests that Philadelphia's front office sees something uniquely valuable in Newsome's potential contribution to their secondary. Rumors indicate that this move could be part of a larger plan to strengthen the Eagles' defense, which has faced criticism in past seasons for its inconsistencies. Adding NEWSOME might provide much-needed stability and depth to their cornerback position, potentially allowing the team to better match up against some of the NFL's most explosive passing offenses. This unexpected signing has also ignited speculation about the Eagles' draft and trade strategy going forward. Could this signal a shift in focus towards defense? Are they looking to build a more balanced squad? Or is NEWSOME a piece of a bigger puzzle yet to be revealed? Analysts are already debating how this quick acquisition fits into the Eagles' long-term plans, especially considering the competitive nature of their division. Fans, naturally, are eager to see how NEWSOME will fit into the Eagles' defensive schemes and whether his arrival will translate into more turnovers, tighter coverage, and ultimately more wins. The buzz around Philadelphia's camp is palpable, with many wondering if this surprise move will pay off in the upcoming season. As the NFL offseason unfolds, this lightning deal serves as a reminder that in professional football, timing and decisiveness can be just as crucial as talent. While the Eagles have kept details under wraps, the sudden emergence of Greg Newsome on their roster is sure to be a story to watch closely. Will this bold move propel the Eagles to new heights? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: the NFL rumor mill is alive and thriving thanks to this unexpected twist in Philadelphia. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.